join. So maybe after Benzi. You're a doula? Okay. Yeah. This
So I'm just setting
last
up my screen so I can see y'all. Oh, okay,
so
okay.
this
Let's see.
last concluded prenatal care, beautiful Brandy. This last opportunity that we went after, we had three projects, guys. We had three projects, and each of the projects we are gonna have a doula services on there. Because with the city of Philadelphia, what they said was that they have this much money. Guys, come and take this much money as long as you guys are able to cater for maternal, right? So what we did was, like I said, what we do is always in a collaborative way. We've seen that to be a very proactive system or way in securing funding. Because you imagine as a one man, you're going after the same opportunity as people with larger numbers. They would rather, the people that wants to give you money will rather invest in you with large numbers, with a lot of experiences, people on your team, as compared to you as a small business. So my system as Coach Eli, we've seen that this collaboration works a lot in our favor. And we've been doing that. Like I said, last 6 months, we've gone over in accumulation over $1 million on different projects, right? Like I said, this just concluded 2 weeks was on maternal health with the Pennsylvania grant. Also we went over lead testing opportunity in the state of New York, and we did chronic diseases testing as well. So when we combine all of the total, we've gone over, it's over $1 million. So in 2026, our goal is to double our effort, right? And in so doing, we are always going after this funding in a proactive way. Last year, I don't know if you guys heard the news, $50 billion was allocated. It's a lot of money moving in the industry. And we want to position ourselves to at least secure some of this funding for our businesses. Because as a business, y'all should be growing, y'all should be scaling. And how? It's by securing contract, right? Having multiple streams, turning contract into daily cash flow for your business, right? So that's our goal. And we're going to show you exactly how you're going to be able to do that today. So even if you don't have maternal health experience, it's a lot of ways that we can do that in a collaborative effort. So I'm going to let Benzi take over. We're going to get started right away.
All right, perfect. All right, so let's get started. I think I took resolved all my tech issues. So yeah, can y'all see my screen?
Yes.
All right, perfect. All right, so welcome to the multi-million-dollar Maternal Health Collaborative, how to position clinical labs as community health leaders. So quick agenda for today. I know y'all had a long day. I just got off from their lab, so I'm not going to hold you too long. So this is what we have planned today. We're going to talk about the maternal health crisis, where the money is flowing, why you are our essential partners, and talk to you more about the multi-million-dollar collaborative model, and next steps. So let's get going. So just to give y'all some background, uh, so if y'all didn't know, there is a huge maternal health crisis right now. As of now, there's at least 19 deaths per 100,000 lives births in the US. The US is one of the top nations. Yeah, we're most developed. Yes, we have all these expertise. Yes, we have this. Yes, we have that. But also our health outcomes are among the worst in the world. A lot of women have died during pregnancy, died within a year of giving birth. And you'll find that there's a lot of healthcare systems, a lot of doctors are like, we've done these things, like we don't really know, we don't really see what's going on. You also find there's a lot of community. You also find that there's a lot of pregnant mothers who experience some of these issues due to a lack of health services, due to lack of insurance, etc. Especially Black women face maternal rates 2 times, 3 times higher than white women. So despite all the technological logical advances that we have as a country, there is a huge maternal health crisis. That's might be thinking, it's not like, why are you giving me all this information? Like, think about of your family members who are expecting soon. Think about your coworkers. Think about your friends. Like this is something that across all of our lives. And the sad thing is that 80% of maternal deaths are preventable. So some of the causes, like I mentioned, mental health, cardiovascular conditions, and also this thing called mental health deserts because there's not enough clinics, not enough labs, not enough hospitals who are currently doing this work. So we are in a huge crisis. In terms of funding right now, y'all see the news. Y'all follow what's going on with this administration. So I am not going to sugarcoat it. In terms of 2024 to 2025, the Biden administration issued couple of billion dollars just for maternal health. As of now, last year, government-wise, federally, they've cut stuff with Medicaid. They've cut stuff with CDC. They've cut a lot of programs. So a lot of federal dollars that are being poured out for this are being taken away. But guess what's going on right now? Where the money is flowing is a lot of states and private foundations are stepping in to provide money for chronic disease, money for maternal health, money for testing, money for all these different things. So if you are a lab who's located across the country, right, there's opportunities for y'all to also develop the community side of your business, of your lab. So yeah, you could tap into both your for-profit with your Medicaid, with your billing, but there's also a lot of states and private foundations that are pouring money into the community aspect of sides, which a lot of healthcare businesses don't really tap into, but they don't tap into it because simply no one has explained to them how they can get into it, which is why we're doing this webinar tonight. So some examples real quick, just to give y'all some numbers. So when I said states are taking action, states are actually investing millions of dollars into maternal health. So I'm going to give y'all some examples. These are just some states right now. With every money that's being cut from the government, it's being reallocated at the state and foundation level. So at the state level, Virginia, they just enacted $7 million for maternal health. North Carolina, $6.5 million that's got proposed for community organizations in maternal health. California, 140 millions. They're looking to cut maternal deaths 50% by 2026. So, and Michigan, they passed some packages with the states. And you also have at least 17 states, 48 states. You got a bunch of states start stepping up to reinvest money into maternal health. Talking about at the private foundations, I'm giving y'all some money that some facts that poured from some of these databases that we pulled from. Kellogg Foundation, they said they've committed $262 million for maternal child health. CVS, they're giving 6.6 in 2023. 2026, they're giving 2.6 million, and they're actively reallocating money. United Healthcare, that's an insurance company that you all might be in network with. Guess what? They're providing money for maternal care. Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, they give up to 60 million, 600 million per year for health equity, along with the Pedigree Foundation. So like I mentioned earlier, a lot of the funds that the government allocated for maternal health for community-based organizations like labs, yes, they might have pulled back a bit, but you have a lot of states and private foundations that are investing big time into this. Then they're writing monies, they're writing funds, they're writing checks because they want to be able to solve this issue. So you might be saying, okay, I get it. Like, why? Like, okay, but I don't work with pregnant women. I like have my own lab. I'm just starting off. How does this benefit me? Think about this. Why are labs essential partners? How do people find out find out if they're pregnant? They either get a testing kit at CVS or they go in for their regular screenings with you, or they happen to get an employment test or DOT test, right? A1C cholesterol, And guess what? It's in the lab results.
You're annoying.
It's
Oh, come on, Ningxi. You came to the city to rely.
sorry about that. I'm gonna put you on mute real quick. When it's time for questions, I'll take myself. I think we're good. Anyway, what I was saying is a lot of people they go to test. You are often the first clinical entry point for any type of health issues, health, non-health issues. Every single thing is you have to get testing. You have to get testing to know what's going on, right? So it's a lot. Through all these testing, through nutrition, metabolic, through all these different lab findings. That's where you're able to figure out, get more insight on where to go. When this whole thing of maternal health with what's going on, hospitals alone, they can't solve this. They can't solve the maternal health deserts of what's going on right now. You go to emergency room, it's probably going to take you about 3, 4, 5 hours just to get tested, just to get checked on. This is why a lot of labs who are involved in the community, they're positioning themselves right now to tap into to tap into all these private foundation funds, right? So just keep that in mind because you all are essential to everything that's happening right now. So let's talk a little bit more of this. How does this relate in terms of the multi-million dollar opportunity that we have? What's going on? So what we have going on in terms of this multi-million dollar opportunity, which I'm going to break down, is most of the time, I'm going to break this down even more. So most of the time, you have opportunities, like I mentioned earlier, you have these private foundations, these private organizations. They say that, okay, we have $100,000 for an organization to do testing, right? Let's say they only have 10 spots open and you get 100 applications. Only 10 get selected. You happen to be the 11th applicant. You happen to be the 50th application. You happen to do that. If you're a funder who's funding these opportunities, would you rather fund one organization that's just doing testing, or would you rather fund a collaborative that has testing, that has mental health, that has education, that has case management? Who would you be more likely to fund if you only have 10 spots? I want to see your thoughts in the chat. Would you fund the one organization that's doing this work, or would you fund the collaborative? Collaborative. There's a collaborative. Yep, it's a one stop shop. Collaborative for the win. Collaborative. Let me ask you this second question. I want to see your engagement in the chat. How would you feel to know that you were applying for an opportunity? Like, let me ask you this. Would you apply for an opportunity that you know that you would lose? Would you apply for an opportunity that you know that you would not get? Yeah, Kimberly, I agree. No. No. Anyone want to say yes? But the reality is a lot of organization. Okay, it took me literally. Shalom, yes. But that's the thing. A lot of organizations, actually, I want y'all to see my face. I'm gonna go back to the slides. A lot of organizations right now, right? They're competing. They're competing with thousands of organizations for this opportunity. You have a lot of labs that are competing right now, especially with AI. You got ChatGPT, you got Microsoft, you got Copilot, you got Claude, you got all these AI models. So guess what? From a funding perspective, your application, you instead of getting 10 applications, 15 applications per year, you just ended up getting 100, 200, 1,000, 1,500 just for 10 spots. So this is why we come up with this proactive approach. We come up with this proactive approach called the multi-million dollar collaborative. So instead of doing one program at a time, instead of just you competing by yourself, we have something called no compete fast funding holistic program. So what we're essentially doing with these collaborative programs is we're creating these holistic programs to address the issues in our community. So instead of waiting for a funding agency, waiting for your state to come announcing a money, guess what? Like, guess what? The more time that they wait to put the opportunity out, is the more lives that just the more deaths start happening in maternal health. So this is why instead of just positioning you all individually as clinical labs, we want to embed you into the community as a comprehensive, holistic program. So what do I mean? What do I mean? You're saying a lot of big terms. Essentially, we want to essentially create a community program where it's clinical lab testing. That's the first bit. Meaning people are coming to you all where you're essentially you're getting your testing. You have the pregnant women. You have those who are family planning. You have people who recently just got married who are looking to get, figure things out, get prepared for the future. Even fathers as well. Essentially getting them tested with stuff you already do in your day-to-day with your clients. They're essentially going to get tested, get their numbers, get their A1C, get their nutrition, get their mental health, get those tests. And from there, we're also going to be able to provide education based off of the testing results. So in this case, for mothers, for expecting mothers, for those who are family planning, from their test results, we're able to provide education. If you didn't know, there's certain vitamins if you don't get prior to pregnancy, it's going to make your pregnancy more at risk. I think folate, if I'm not mistaken, is in underserved areas, in underserved countries. That's why you have a lot of organizations that are sending rice enriched with folate, because on the test results, if you don't have enough folate, right, that increases your pregnancy to be more at risk. So that's why we funnel people to have lab testing. We do the education, right? Based off of the test results. But then guess what? Most of the time, from your DOT contracts, from your city contracts, people see you once, you don't see them ever again. Why not? You have something that keeps them connected to you. So imagine you have a mother that comes see you for a testing, you give them education. Then guess what? In this program that we have a doula that they can see that will give them perinatal, birth, postpartum doula services, right? They saw you, they get the education. Hey, before you go today, I want to connect you to our doula who's part of our community program, where they'll be able to get tested, get support during their pregnancy, get someone to support them alongside. And guess what? With it, we're also doing mental health, because guess what? Pregnancy is a huge shift. Parenting is a huge transition. So why not get connected to a mental health therapist? We also saw your thyroid levels was a little bit high. That could also impact your metabolic pathways, your hormones. So we'll connect you to a doula, but guess what? We'll also connect you to 6 months of free therapy during your time, especially in your last trimester. Think about it. And after that, we also have case management. So meaning in the midst of you preparing to give birth, or you're going through postpartum, or you're just dealing through the first 2 years of your life while you're on WIC, you're at home, you're trying to figure out where to get support, where to get payments. You have a whole team that's also going to help you get connected to community resources. What do y'all think? Like, if you're thinking about this program as a comprehensive program, imagine going through this. How would you feel? How would you feel as an expecting mother or someone that's gone through postpartum to go through this program where you've gotten tested and you got all the support? Oh, supported, love. Kennedy, I don't know if I'm not pronounce if I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, but can you tell me more? Like, how would you feel supported? Yeah, if you want to get off mute and just just talk about that.
Yes, hi, it's Kenny T. And I would feel supported. I would feel like I'm not alone trying to navigate things. I would feel like someone can relate to what I'm experiencing and that there are real tangible resources in my community that I can go to or seek out without me having to find them on my own in the midst of dealing with life, and just that network would just make me feel like I can focus on health and my well-being and the care for my baby so that I can put the priority where it needs to be, and that's taking care of me. This is
Mm-hmm.
amazing.
Oh, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. And that's the goal. That's the goal. Anyone else want to share? Cindy, you mentioned love. Yeah, just how would you feel? How would you feel loved?
Thank you, Kennedy. Is Benedicta here? Or anyone else?
Or Kimberly just said directed to sources to help me. Yeah.
Just knowing where I could go when I came across some issues, if I was having any, like, just emotional issues when you're pregnant, your emotions just are up and down so much that knowing where to go and what resources were out there for me, just, not knowing you're not alone is always a good thing.
Yeah. 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 Knowing that you're not alone. And that's the goal of the program. You often have people who are going through the cycle, going through the motions during the cycle. They just so much stress, so much worry. But guess what? Imagine being connected where you feel loved and feel support. But guess what? Guess where this started? Guess where this started? This started in your lab. If you're in your lab right now, open your eyes, look around, take a few seconds, look around. Imagine that your lab became the entrance place, became the community hub, became the healing place for expecting mothers who are stressed out, who are trying to figure things out. All of this support that they got started at your lab because they saw you for a simple test, and vice versa. You also have people who, yeah, also like, I'm gonna give you all a term. Programs like this that we've came up with is called I'll say it, multi-directional, because no matter where you come in, you get support. So you got people who are being connected to doulas. I'm gonna tell you this. I got one of my close friends. She just started her doula business. She's gonna be a part of this program. She's gonna be part of this program. Imagine that she has a couple of mothers that she's seeing, that she's providing support, but yet every time they go to the hospital, they're afraid of getting pricked. They have to get pricked multiple times for the testing. They need the test, but when they go to Quest Diagnostic, they have to get pricked at least 10, 15 times. And then they have to go home, tell them you have to go back, get some more water, or they have to be like, hey, we can't find any veins right here, but we could do the top of your hand. I know for me, do not want to get pricked at the top of my hand, but imagine you're already connected to a doula, but you want to have someone that you can trust, and they go see Kimberly to get her to get their labs. Kimberly happens to be in network, or with the grants that we provide, Kimberly's providing free testing. Are y'all seeing where this is going? And now it's already flowing. Okay, you're already connected to the doula, but now you're getting tested, and now you're getting mental health. Imagine someone who's seeing their mental health counselor, right? And they're stressed out, and they're stressed out about this transition. They're trying to figure things out. Like, like they're thinking about family planning. Guess what? Their stress is going to impact them. But guess what? Hey, you've seen me. You had to talk with me. I know where your emotions at. Why not connect you to get your lab? Have you gotten your labs tested? Have you gotten your panels, your lipid panels for the year? No, I haven't. Why not go see someone else? Why not see Coach Eli to get your lipid panels, to get tested? And while you're getting tested, you get connected to a doula, you get case management, you're getting education. So you see, there's multiple entryways into this program. So meaning as a clinical lab, without the doula support, you'll be able to give birth, mental health, you'll be supported, but the whole thing falls apart because you are at the center of of maternal health. So this is why we come up with this multi-million-dollar program, right? That's focused on this holistic, prevention-focused, equity-centered programs where, yes, you all will be able to do your programs, right? You all will be able to do what you're doing the day-to-day, but you're connected in something that's community-oriented. And how this program works, right, is we're doing the testing, we're doing the education, we're doing the doula support, mental health, and then connecting them to resources. So before I get into what's next, so remember I mentioned earlier, right, how a lot of people like to compete? This program, if you tell someone who's giving multi-million dollars this ahead of time, you've literally have amazed them. When I say there's no competition with these type of programs, how we work with the multi-million, instead of waiting for an opportunity to be released, we come up with the program. We already came up with this program ahead of time. I've given y'all a framework. Now it's just a matter of connecting the dots together. We already have a program. So instead of waiting, we're going to go straight to the funder. So what we do for public health evangelists in collaboration with Coach Eli, what we do together in our partnership, we create these proposals. We create the work plan. We come up with the collaborators. We come up with the budget. We come up with the execution plan. Everything that a funder wants to see, we come up with it. And instead of waiting months, instead of applying for an opportunity knowing that you're not going to get it, we go straight to the funder. We go straight to the funder, let them know, here is our package. Here is our program. Here is everything that we have. Give us $100,000. Give us $1 million. Give us $1 million for this program. We're ready to launch this program. Hold on. What day is it today? Hold on. What's the first? We're ready to launch this program February 9th. You're already going to fund the money anyway. You're already going to fund this program anyway. Oh, you care about mental health? Hey, I got something bigger than just mental health. I got maternal health, mental health. Are y'all starting to see? Yes, on the offense. Yeah, you got to be on the offense. So instead of waiting, we identify funders who's already going to give money to this cause. So we come up with this program. We identify the funder, and guess what? Let's say we have 10 people on this multi-million-dollar program, right? And this multi-million-dollar, and I've also seen some questions about, will this be multi-state? This is a multi-state, multi-country type of program. So a lot with RFPs typically are restricted to one state. We mentioned the Philly program that we just did, right? But with the multi-million-dollar program, imagine you have people located in different parts of the state. You got someone doing health education. You got someone doing telehealth. You got someone doing doula support from afar, or you got someone that's located in the area, right? So instead of focusing on one funder, you got 10 people on this program. The program is $1 million. Let's say for every person that's part of this program, we identify 5 funders for them across different states, across different areas. We find five funders. That just became 5 times 10. That's 50 funders we reached out to. 50 funders proactively that were not competing for this program. That just became that $1 million program became 50 million. Let's say let's say all 50 says yes. You just created a $50 million program for mental health, for maternal health, for clinical lab testing. So imagine maybe not all 50. Imagine that you as a lab, you're written for 100,000. Let's just say a couple of funders say yes. You can literally walk away with $1 million for your lab. You didn't write the application. You didn't put anything together. You're still doing your day stuff. You got your staff, or maybe you Now let me ask you this in the chat. If you had $1 million, what would you do in your lab? Or what would you do outside of your lab? What would you do? I want to see in the chat. Would y'all go vacation? Would y'all hire a team? Would y'all make upgrades, renovations? What would y'all do if you had $1 million? What would you do? What would you do from a lab perspective? What would you do? Would you streamline the lab? Uh-huh. 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 Streamline the lab. Mm-hmm. Start the start the lab. Start the lab. Start the lab. I would scale and expand services. Upgrades expand. Uh-huh. 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 This is good. This is good. All AI integrated equipments. Uh-huh. 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 I'm gonna get a couple more. We're almost halfway through the present. Upgrade and expand. I'm hearing a lot of upgrade and expand. This is great. I'm gonna give y'all. I'm gonna give y'all perspective. Imagine that you just started, right? You're getting things off the ground. You're working long hours, but you know you want to serve. You know you want to serve your community. Imagine getting $1 million, and now you just became a one-person lab. To now you can. Yep, Erica, you already you know where I'm going. Now you can train 5 others. You can hire and train. So now instead of doing all the lab, instead of now doing everything, you just stepped from founder to CEO. You just stepped from founders to CEO as your lab. So now you're able to go out to go to the community to help promote. You're able to essentially provide a funnel for nursing students, provide a funnel for people who want to help out. And now, guess what? As a CEO, what can you do? You can save, you can invest, you can buy a new home, start new businesses, nonprofit, open up, hire a team, etc. Special compliance group. You get where I'm going. So meaning with every money that you make from this, that's going into your business to help you expand as a lab, buy more results, buy more testing, all the above. And then now you move from founder, doing every single thing to now being CEO. So y'all, you see, is this making sense? Is this making sense, y'all? Is this making sense? Is this making sense?
Yeah.
Is this making sense? The math is mathing. Yeah, yep. Invest, create generational wealth. Yep, create generational wealth. And guess what? When you scale to this point, when you scale to this ability, you're not stressed out. You're not stressed out. You're able to invest at your people who's working underneath you, right? They're able to work. They're able to commit more hours. They're able to live a healthier life. They'll be like, yeah, I'm making all this money. I'm not gonna go anywhere else. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help. I'm gonna invest. So that's the side of community contracts. This is the side of the proactive multi-million dollar people that people don't talk about. Yes, like you're gonna build Medicaid. Yes, you're gonna do all the things that you're currently doing and reach out, but this is a whole different side of your lab that you're essentially setting up with no effort, no additional effort, right? So I know I spent a lot of time, but I want to help y'all get the whole picture of where you can get going. Yeah, you're training them to do the same. Mm-hmm. Yup. I could not imagine having this type of funding to help me. It would be amazing. And guess what? A lot of people, a lot of labs, a lot of community organizations, they still want to compete. Do y'all want to compete? I know for myself, I do not want to compete with 1,000 other people. I don't want to compete. Do you want to compete? I don't want to compete. Do you want to wait? I don't want to wait. So that's the whole perspective behind the multi-million dollar collaborative model. So this is why we're really emphasizing that you gotta work harder, work smarter, and you're essentially having someone that's going to help you build out this side of your business. So what you will get as part of this multi-million dollar, being part of this collaborative, you'll be featured in this $1 million Collaborative.
Benzie, before we get
Collaborative.
there,
Yeah.
I was not putting on me to the fucking nose.
great work, great work. Thank you, Benzie. Guys, let me tell you the originality or the origin of why I partner with the public health evangelist. We are actually part of an ecosystem together. But as a new business, as a new startup, even as an existing business, you definitely need funding. When we go this proactive way in trying to get money, it doesn't only reduces the competition, it also allows us to build relationships. It allows these funders to say, tell me more. It allows the door that a lot of people are trying to get in. It just allows the door open for you. And they say, tell me more. Because what you are bringing to the table, you are not only solving one problem, but multiple problems with multiple expertise. Is it making sense? So as a business, as a new business, it allows you to get the money, scale. Remember how we talked about then you can then start subcontracting from founders level. You become a CEO, the true boss, the true generation wealth, the true desire, the true reason why you do not want to work for anyone on a 9 to 5 clock. The true destiny, right? I secured, I don't know if you guys know a little bit of my story. I secured a $3.8 billion contract in lead testing. And every day when we do this lead testing, we make nothing less than $10,000 in a day. Yes. And look at me today. During our first annual conference, we were able to bring on some VIPs and we were subcontracting because there was a repetition in flow, cash flow. You as a new business, you need to start to position yourself. We can't be doing things the traditional way, and because we know we're not going to get the results. Everyone comes into the business and want to go on SA SAM.gov. You can't win anything on SAM.gov. You're going to be in line. There's a lot of application. AI has made everything easy. Anyone can submit an application. It makes the application process cumbersome. But we don't want to go through those routes. We know to collaborate. We have a doula, we have a mental health, we have a lab scientist, we have a phlebotomist, we have a nurse, we have a physician, everyone on our team. And as Benzie asked, whom are you going to fund if you were to pick? We'll go with the best. Someone that has multiple services with a team of experts. All right. So Coach Eli, I said my goal in 2026 is to put $1 million back into your bank account. I know why I said that. Because I know these strategies. A lot of people, they call themselves grant writers. We are not grant writers. We don't write grant. We don't do all of that. We have a system. Shika Benzie work with the I don't know how many of you know CDC, the Center for CDC is Centers for Disease and Control. They have a lot of experience when it comes to contracting. I have a great team, y'all. You need to give it to Coach Eli. So in the industry, we break barriers. A lot of people come into this space. They don't even know how to scale their business. Starting is not what we want. We want to be able to finish. CDC, that's right. We want to be able to start a business is the easiest thing, but how do you scale? How do you grow? By having multiple contracts, multiple funds, because you don't want to keep looking for, look, how many times are you going to keep marketing? Sometimes you market so people don't listen. But as a business, you need to start to position yourself for success. You know how they say your network is your net worth. That is exactly what I'm teaching you guys to do today. We are going to double all of our effort. We went over 1 million last year. We're going to double the top dollars. Like Benzie say, Biden, this new administration, they took the money. But look, a lot of foundations, big foundations are ready to give money back for community. The government is always for the people. Just because they cut the money doesn't mean people are going to be left alone. We got to. And look, when it comes to healthcare, a lot of you are underestimating the power of your business. When you guys hear mobile lab, y'all just think it's a side hustle. I've always told and I've always helped my students to rewire their mentality. This is not an hustle. This is a business. As a lab, we are the heart of healthcare. Before a doctor can look at you and diagnose you, I don't care the type of diseases, a doctor cannot look at you and say you have A1C, you have diabetes, you have thyroid. A doctor must do a lab. There must be a collection. There must be some sort of lab work, and that's where you come in. You all underestimate the power. When you think of healthcare, when you think of lab, you think about the big hospital. That's not what it is. And I will change the narrative in the society, in this industry. My mission is to put $1 million back into your bank account through this approach, because we know where the top dollars are moving. If I were to ask Shika right now, tell me the latest fund, who is funding, where is the money? Benzi got to pull that back up, the funders, what they funded. We know where these top dollars are. We know exactly that maternal health is the topic for the moment. We already know. So we are not wasting time, because we are experts. We've been doing this over and over. Why am I not talking about lead? Last year we did lead. I know this moment is the time for maternal health. We know. And that's the reason why we want to leverage maternal health. So what we are talking about is how we can help women, right? So not only in testing, multiple services, doula, mental health counseling. Because like you all said, Kiniti said, Shida said, y'all don't want to be alone. As a pregnant woman, especially someone that's gone through postpartum and prepartum, all that. I know it is true. Postpartum depression is true. So as my team, because we are public health, my background is in public health, we already know that we have to incorporate mental health when it comes to maternal health. Is it making sense to you? The reason why we are taking this approach and we are working with experts. So you as a business, you should, every time that is an opportunity for you to position, to network, to collaborate, and to leverage, you always want to be in the meeting.
Oh, you're muted.
Was it a long mute or short mute?
Short mute.
Short mute. I said I called for a meeting. I only have 41 people on the call. And yet you're going to tell me you need help with your business. This is the help. Because a business must be running with money. You need to turn contract. You need to turn grant into daily cash flow. You need to. And it is the best, especially as a new business. How are you going to get your word out there? How are people going to know you? What are you going to put on your capability statement? What type of experience are you going to put there if you don't collaborate? If you don't work with what's happening, if you don't align. Right now, maternal health is the hot topic. And whatever it takes us to get the money is what we're going to do. So we came up with 3 projects. And because, again, let me give you a little bit of history. Pennsylvania, Tequila, remember I reached out to you. We have a prime. So we have a way we do these things here. And everyone in any states will collaborate. So don't worry. I don't care where you are. As long as you're in America, you can work. And as long as you have an LLC. Because what we do is we have different types of requirements, or different types of skill sets, rather. So you as a doula, you have your own piece. You as a lab, you have your own piece. And in each state, we have a prime. And that is if we are responding to RFP. But when it comes to multi-million-dollar collaboration, the funder is saying, hey, Elizabeth, tell me more. Because of the approach of what we say we are going to do. Okay? I encourage you, new business owner, this is the way to grow. If you're asking, no one teaches us these things. Only here on this platform that you're going to hear things that will leverage and catapult you to your next level. Do not miss your shot, because it opens the next door. And if you were to catch one of my replays on lead testing, you're going to hear Benzi teaching us about Even if it's $50,000 they gave us, the actual money we are going for with the one we actually did with the RL with the Pennsylvania was actually $50,000 each. We don't despise small. We know that we got 50, we are gonna get 100 like that. We just need a foot in the door. With this collaboration, the slot is almost even taken, y'all. Because Benzi say, I just heard you, Benzi, you talked about your doula. Because we understand the importance of going together as a going together as a team as compared to one man. So guys, I do not want you to underestimate the power of lab when it comes to healthcare. We play a huge role in what we do. Do not treat your business as a side hustle. It will get busy. I promise you. It will get busy every day and I try to show screenshot. How many of you saw the screenshot that I posted today? Just by collection alone, I could calculate my profit. I am that coach that comes with receipts. We have receipts. A lot of you also follow Coach Eli when I started talking about the DOT contract. This is how we are going to go after the DOT contract. You alone can't go with the DOT contracts. This is the collaborative measure. DOT has up to eight federal, the DOT, which is the federal agency, has 8 DOT as the Department of Transportation, as the federal department, has up to 8 agencies. We have the airline, we have the pipeline, we have the Coast Guard, we have the motor carrier, we have quite a few. And they are always, because they are the one needing drug testing, DOT drug testing. You got to know how to ask these people to request for tell me more. And this is how we are going to secure funding. I'm going to let Benzi finish up with his presentation and we're going to take questions because I know some of you, these are all new terminologies. You probably have questions. All right.
Thank you so much. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it from the experts. Y'all heard from the person that has gotten results. Oh, what I'm going to tell y'all is remember how we mentioned how much money proactive, because I know some of y'all are probably skeptical of, what do you mean? Shika, can you tell me what number this is?
It will be 333 billion.
This is how much was funded. This is how proactive funding. Some reactive, some proactive, but this is how much money that circulated last year alone across 615 opportunities, proactive, 530 funders, U.S., non-U.S., across all these type of areas. Imagine, man, let me do some quick math for y'all. Let me do, what is 1%? Hold on, I'm going. Y'all gonna see me. Y'all gonna see y'all. Yeah, it's gonna make sense. It's gonna make sense. Imagine getting 1% of the 300 something billion. It's been a long day, so I can't read that number, but that's at least 300. It's not trillion. But y'all get the gist. That's a lot of money. That's for 2025. This is our database that we use to search for funding. This is 2026, quarter 1. Guess how much money has been allocated so far? $2 million alone. That is just off of different. This is just based off of different. Oh, I'm sorry, not 2 million. Is it 2 million? Oh, my bad. 2 billion. My bad. $2 billion that has gotten allocated globally from these funders, and it's not even. What month are we in? We just hit February. We just hit February. So guess what? When we're coming up with this program and we're identifying funders, yeah, we're gonna identify the US. But I told Shika a goal for this year, we're gonna go international. We're gonna travel international, possibly with some of our projects. Let's say someone's, hey, we want to solve maternal health. We need a lab. We need a doula. We need this. We're gonna go to Nigeria. We're gonna go on the travel contracts to go help out, to provide expertise. And even with them, I'm gonna tell y'all this. I'm sorry, I know I'm throwing a lot of information, but we're about to wrap up. There's a lot of lab, just like y'all starting off. There's a lot of labs overseas. They need your expertise. They need help. They need this. They need that. So why not we go in over there? You teach them how to start their labs. You accompany Coach Eli on helping them get their equipment set up, get everything set up. We have a doula that's with us that's traveling, helping them get set up. And we get money from international organizations to do the same thing that we just did in the States. I'm just telling y'all, the money is out here. The money is out here. The money is out here. And guess what? More funders internationally are more willing to get. Shika, would you want to talk about your conversation that you just had with the PATH director?
Yeah, sure. So for those of you who don't know about PATH, so PATH is one of the organizations that is started out by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It's sort of a sister company to Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. It's a global international NGO. And I had gotten a call with the country director of India and the director of Southeast Asia, who is basically financing and looking after the finances of PATH organization. And I was just having conversations about, the funding cuts and how has it impacted globally in India and in Southeast Asia. He was like, if I were you and if I were looking to go and do global health work and like impact related work, if you want to develop your career more in this, I would go to Africa right now because that is the hotspot where all the money that has been, dispersed from US is still like, there are still philanthropies, there are still people who have so much money who want to create an impact, who are piping all the money in the places where it's needed. And it's not just globally, but even within the US. One of the biggest grant that came out this year is in rural health as well, which is within the US. So there is a lot of money and a lot of impact which goes behind this. And Benzie and I are primarily impact-driven people, but we also understand that you need money to survive. So that is why we're still emphasizing on the money bit, but the amount of impact that you can generate by just changing, not even changing, by trying to do something good for just one person will take you a long way. And that is why we are here. And that is our aim. And we want as many people who can join us in the same.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Shika.
One more thing, Benzie, would you let me? I like
Yeah.
how you said that about Shika. You know how new business are trying to get their word out there and they struggle? This is actually how they can. And Benzie, one more thing we didn't remember to tell them. There are some foundation, especially the MCOs. And Benzie, do the math so they can see. Guys, MCOs are by law. This is by law. They are required to reinvest 3% of their profits. They don't have a choice. So we are going to calculate how much an MCO makes. They are required to reinvest 3% of their profit every year back into the community. And that's why sometimes you guys don't see some RFPs. The money moves in the back, like Shika said, because they have no choice than to reinvest their profit back. And that's where you all can come in. That's actually how I was able to get my $3.8 billion. You want to do the math? Of a profit of, and we have close to 3,000 MCOs in America. One state alone. That's why I was teaching you guys, go talk to your MCOs. You all don't understand what I was talking about. Yes, they are by law required to. And like Shika says, some are just philanthropists. There are money out there and we are going to go and we are tapping into the top dollars. I don't know about you, but I'm ready this year to double. Okay, Benzie, sorry.
Yep. No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, I totally forgot about the MCOs. Every state has an MCO. Every state has an MCO. Let me give y'all an example, right? So I'm looking at the chat. So states mandate their MCOs, which is your health insurance companies, to give about 3%, 7.5 of profits back to the community. 3% of their annual revenue back into the community. So if someone can engage in the chat, what state are you from? I want to see the first person. We're going to give you our live demo right now. MD. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, quick. What's the MD? Maryland? Right? No. Okay. Uh, Sorry, I lost track. I lost track. Okay, yeah. Yeah, Maryland. Okay. Okay, what SEOs are in Maryland and how much they make in profit? How much how much could be reinvested back into the community? All right. I'm showing y'all this so y'all don't say we made things back. We didn't make things up. Aetna, Better Health of Maryland, Kaiser Permanente, United Healthcare, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So do y'all some math? Profit of the better. Hmm. It's only the Aetna. They made three thirty 304 million last year, just in one quarter. Um,
1 quarter. And in each year is 4 quarters. I hope you guys know that.
that could be billions of dollars, and they got to reinvest that money back into communities. So imagine having a collaboration package where you approach your MCOs, you approach these international funders, you approach your state, you approach all these different actors. But I'm new. I just started my business. I'm just saying, you get $1 million as a business. You didn't just start your business. You're scaling. You are scaling. So what comes in this package? Because I know we're over time. So essentially what we do is we come up with a proposal with the program, like I mentioned. So this is one that we did for veterans mental health. And this could do this. Oh, but Ebony, I see your question. I'm going to get to it when we're done. I'm going to get to it. Trust me. So this is the proposal that we created, right? Executive summary. This is our program. Impact Lab Diagnostics. Who's that? Coach Eli?
Yeah, that
Public
was
health
me.
evangelist. You see? You see? We have our whole proposal. We have everything that we created, right? Timeline, etc. Delivery model, blank, 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 blah, 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 blah. Keep going. The full program, comprehensive budget. Put her down for 300,000. That's just for one funder that we're going to pitch you. Work plan. We do every single thing, right? And guess what? We submit. So it's not just that. We have a full proposal. So with every single funder that we identify, which as part of this multi-million-dollar collaboration, you don't have to worry about talking to the funder. We'll take care of that for you. All we do is we craft the letter of interest. We identify the funder, community foundation. We identify the funder. We send them an email. We would like to have time to talk to you about your program. Oh, guess what? Let's just say they say, hey, we want to learn more about your program. We already have a presentation ready for them. Care Equip program, critical need, comprehensive program. This is what we want to do. This is everything that we have. So as part, I'm going back to the presentation right now. So as part of the multi-million-dollar program, you're embedded into this full comprehensive program. You get a fully written proposal. You have a budget that you created. Also, we take care of the funding pitching for you. We're going to take care of, this is included in this package. All you did was you just signed up. You just keep doing your lab, but we took care of the writing. We take care of the administration. We took care of the funding. We already identified the funders. Everything's already created. That's it. That's it. That's it. And that's it. And guess what? It's not just limited to one state. Multiple states can do this. So that's what you get with a multi-million-dollar package.
So Benzi, when I said pitch deck, I meant we also, so when they say tell us more, we also have a pitch deck too. That's what I meant. Nah, I don't know if you misinterpreted that. But guys, this is the hour for you to come off mute so that we can take your questions. But the way this program works is that we have slots because we want to make it profitable for you guys. We can't put everyone in a collaboration. Everyone can't collaborate, unfortunately, because our goal is to at least give everyone $100,000. Each project that we go for is when we pitch to the funders, we always do $1 million for each project. I'm not sure how many projects we have, Shika, but for this maternal health, I think it's going to be just one project. Maybe in the second half, in the second quarter, we're going to do more because we just concluded with the maternal health in Pennsylvania. We leveraged the topic, so we are going to do $1 million in this first quarter, and we only have 10 slots. And I think 10 slots has reduced to 7 because by default, we always take care of ourselves. So the public health evangelist is there. Impact diagnostics is there. Even Kiniti is already there. Two of our students already prepared for the slots. Having said all of that, so you're not doing anything. You just have to position your business, apply, and give us all the information. There is an application process. Once you go through the application process, then we start to set up meetings, right? So each agency, we are going to give each agency $1 million, $100,000. And there's a potential for it to increase depending on how many funders we reach out to. But each funders is going to be we're proposing $1 million for each funders. And depending on how many people we have, depending on the size and the state's capacity, there is a potential for increase. But minimum baseline is 100,000 for each project, for each businesses that wants to collaborate. Did I cover anything else? So anyone in any state. So let's see what your questions looks like. Then we'll take it from there. So Benzi, I think you have the hands raised. I don't know in which order did they. So you can just look at
Shada. Sorry if I'm butchering your name. I saw your hand go up first.
Good evening. It's Chada. The question is this. I put this in the chat. I just discovered Coach Eli just literally a week ago. And I've heard of Diagnostic Lab, setting that up and everything. But ever since finding Coach Eli, I've been like, wow, this is something that I really see myself doing. So being that I'm just starting from scratch, learning terminology, learning everything. What would it even make sense for me to do something like this? Because I need funding. Even, it would be awesome even I had funding to set up the actual, my lab. So what suggestions would you have for that, for somebody that's just starting in my position?
Absolutely. That's my question. Thank you so much, Shader, for following and for coming here tonight. That's exactly what I always ask my students. Like this is commitment right here. Just showing up is commitment, and it means a lot. You're learning, and people don't understand the power of just showing up. Having said that, do you have an LLC or do you plan to have an LLC?
I plan on having an LLC. I already have my name. I'm in the medical field already. I've been a CNA for about 15 years now, but I do have a LLC name and that whole thing. I just need to set it up. Just need to get the EIN and get it all registered.
That's it. That's all that you need. You don't need to have an existing business or an account. We take care of all of that. So all that you need is to represent your business, right? So as long as you have an LLC, you are able to apply. And I think you should, because this is how you can, build the business. You may be getting more than $100,000. You just have to invest in yourself and work on your business. Enough is, I've heard a lot of people, I'm tired, coach, I've been a nurse for 20 years, I'm this and that, I want to do something my own. This is how you're going to build your business. All those people that you see today that have billions of businesses and money is because they showed up and they were participating. So yes, as long as you have an LLC, that's all that you need to collaborate. Okay, that's all that you need. Nothing else.
Okay, when will you be offering this, I guess, again, if I can't get in this cohort of it all, from what you're doing now, how, what is the initial cost? So just in case.
Yeah, initial cost. So for full transparency, the offer today is actually not our typical offer. the typical offer is always 1,700. And those that attended the conference, that have been collaborating, quite a few students, actually, I don't even see all my students here tonight. I only see new faces. They pay 1,700. But because Benzi, even Shika was the one that said, okay, this is New Year. People are just coming out of holiday, spending and what have you. People have been spending. So the cost to join today is $679 or $675. That is not a typical cost. But the cost today is $679. However, yes, there will be multiple collaborations. Remember, we have not met our goal. Our goal is to go after at least $50,000 this year. So yeah, this is just the beginning for this core. We're going to definitely have more collaboration.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, is that Kennedy next or Grace?
Mhm. Okay.
Okay.
Hi, I think my question would be a follow-up to the last one, and it's about technical support for those of us who are just literally starting. I have my LLC, but then I'm just curious what type of support would be provided either, I guess, internally or elsewhere, just to make sure I'm providing the value that's needed for the collaborators.
Yeah, those will come after. Remember, this is the recruitment phase. We're going to have a meeting after, and that's where we will start to assign, this is what you're going to do. You're going to be the doula, you're going to be the this, you're going to be the tester. We have all of that right after we have a team.
Okay, so within those meetings, will there be like trainings to provide the technical support of executing what needs to be done within the grant?
So there will be training. Yes, we will
Okay.
train you and tell you, but most importantly, you should have an existing experience. Remember, you're working with me already. That's where mentorship comes in, right? To help you set up your business so you can own the business. When I say own, not only just owning by name, but also knowing what to do, the type of services, and be able to do it well. So that's where your mentorship experience and teaching actually comes in. But as far as project specificity, yes, we're going to train you on what
Got
to
it.
do.
Okay.
Right, that's how
Okay.
that works.
Awesome.
Cool. All right, Grace.
Hi, Coach.
Hey.
First of all, really want to tell you how appreciative I think I speak for most of us we are to bring education to this level. My background is Medicare, so I am certainly interested, but I think it's a follow-up to those two questions because I was looking at doing the coaching with you, the group coaching. So if I commit to this, would that mean that I have the LLC, I have the website, everything is good to go, but will I learn about, because my focus will be on the DNA testing for the, and then with maternal. So this is really perfect. That aligns perfectly. Will I have to do the coaching, or can I get the coaching from you through this program, like through this commitment?
Great question. Let me tell you, and some of you, Butterfly, hey, maybe she can speak at one moment. She's the only student I see. Takia is there too. All right, I see Takia and I see Butterfly. But let me tell you something, full transparency. A student actually, who is actually my current core, same level as you guys were. And as long as you are able to follow instruction, y'all will be good, especially for those of you that are in my coaching program. All I need you is to follow instruction and be coachable, okay? I said all I need for this project is and maybe Shika and Benzi can answer because when it comes to the real funding, they are the guru. Coachila is the coach, the mentee. I'm in the front, they are the back end. So, but for the front end, I need you guys to have the LLC. We need to take care of the foundation of the business, right? But Benzi, if you want to chime in, or Shika, will there be technical training at one point when we secure this funding so we can make sure these people are truly delivering when it comes to deliverables?
Yes, yeah. So with every proposal that we write, we always include a sort of a project onboarding phase. So whether that be 2 or 3 months where we're actively providing training, providing support for you to be able to deliver whatever service you want to deliver.
Yeah.
And also when you do identify the role that you've identified, let's just say, again, you just started off, maybe you might not have the supplies, maybe you might not have everything. You just start
Yeah.
off from scratch. Then we can then plug you in as more, maybe this time around, you're on the support role. So maybe you get, you're on a support role. Maybe you get, enough money to, again, just have you be on there as a support role. But guess what? That's seed money then that you can then continue to
Scale the
support
business
with your,
and just grow with you. I mean, I am totally on board, committed. As much as I love talking to my 65-year-old people, it gets tiring with Medicare. But I do know about that. So the MCO background, when you talk, Coach Eli, I'm fully aware because I work with Medicare and Medicaid. But so basically, when I commit to this, because to me it's either this or I was looking at the group coaching, but obviously gives me more incentive given that there's a higher opportunity to make money. So when we do the 675, I know you can never guarantee the amount, but are you saying there's a great chance that we would get that $100,000?
I'm
so
very
oh,
grateful
you
that you
can.
said great chance, and I'm glad that you confirmed that Medicaid, because a lot of times when I speak, when we show people this number, people haven't made such a money, so they can't even imagine if it is true or not. Even when
Yeah.
Benzie brought that long
Yeah.
number, some people may think we are just making it up. So I'm glad you confirmed that on this call.
Yes.
That's number one. Then number two, your number two question was, it's a great chance because remember we are going with full force and with team and numbers, but I
Mhm.
can never open my mouth to guarantee and say
I
yes
know.
100%. But yes, with everything, and we have success stories, right?
Mhm.
Benzie, I thought you was even going to share the recent success story we had in Maryland here. I am a testimony. I got the money, and we have quite a few people too that has gotten money. So yes, it's of great chance, but nothing will never, we will never say guaranteed. But we've done this and we'll continue to do it over and over because this is the best that works. We don't like to queue. We don't like to react. We like to proactively go after the funding. And to back your question, I will say everyone should be tapping into opportunities. You don't want to leave any stone unturned, right? On
Yeah.
top of that, you will need your LLC. You need to have a business. Like, even if, okay,
You
let's say you get the
inspired
money.
me. You inspired me. I did the LLC. I have
Right. If
the
you have the business, you
when
still
you
have
said
to,
I need the website, I ran to make the website. I have my business.
you got
Listen,
to. You got to.
I'm on the
And like
roll.
Benzi said, we could do support role, like the one we did for LED. One of the ladies, she didn't even have an LLC, but she truly want to start getting experience. She liked the team that was on the first collaboration. She paid, and we put her in support role. So there are
Mhm.
different roles. It's not, look, you can't, especially with the big money that we're asking for, we have a lot of roles. So even if
Mhm.
you're not really doing testing because you don't have a lab testing yet, you could do call. You can bring on, you can transfer your Medicare experience. You can bring it on. Like there
Yeah.
are so many things that we would do. It's not only testing, remember? So yeah, I hope that helps answer your
No,
question.
absolutely. So I will. Yeah. So I'll commit to. So how do we go about like moving forward from here?
Right, we're gonna post the link in a minute. Like I said, I'm gonna keep monitoring. Once we cap, we are sold because like we only have, as we speak, it's only 6 because I know Kennedy already paid. Um, Benedicta is not even here. She already paid. I am on the project. Benzi is already on the project. The Dula is on the project. So as we speak, we actually have 5 slots only. But
Mhm.
please, Benzi and Shika, continue to monitor the chat. There are some questions there while I go pull up the link.
Okay.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I see some questions in the chat. So thank you, Shiga. Yeah, so this opportunity could be in the U.S. territories as well. It's not restricted to one state. It's literally could be anywhere. And in terms of timeline for funding, again, like that. So again, we're never going to tell you that this is going to be 100% guaranteed because there might be a possibility that some of these funders are like, uh,
Mhm.
but that's why we're coming together with multiple funders that will increase our likelihood. Sometimes some of the funders might not say, okay, we might not have $1 million to give you, but I have 100,000, I have 500,000. So you paid 675, but you made 10,000.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
you made 20,000, every small win
Small
counts.
win, big gains, ultimately.
Big
Thank
gains.
you.
Yep. Small win, big gains. In terms of timeline, typically I've seen stuff get funded within a week of pitching to
Mhm.
a couple of months. So it all depends on the funder, all depends on the availability, all depends on the need. So that's just the honest truth. So it might range from week to a few weeks to possibly a month, 2 or 3. And sometimes I'll say this: opportunities circle back.
Yeah.
Opportunities circle back. So last year we worked on Coach Eli. We worked on the veterans mental health opportunity. We didn't see anything in veterans mental health. I mean, no, we applied for one opportunity for I think 300,000. We didn't get it.
Yeah. Hmm.
Guess what? That same foundation
Came
is
back.
releasing that same
Something else.
opportunity this year. So it's multi-awards. So
Get your foot
that's
in the
just,
door and just network.
network. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Okay.
So
And
that's it.
my final question, and then I'll let somebody else. So I know it's a collaborative. So then when you pitch the proposals as part of the team, we all always go in to whichever proposal you pitch, and the positions can be rotated based on whatever the proposal would be. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes, and let me tell you, so that's exactly what we are doing with this same maternal health, but the RFP that we did in for Philadelphia. So we rotated the shift. So it was 3 projects. We have one for STD, one for nutrition, and the other was mental health, but all
Mhm.
still as maternal health. And all the people that everyone, except for 2 people, bought the 3 packages. So we rotated it. So we make sure that, okay, you have the supportive role today. Okay, you're gonna have the admin. All right, you're gonna do the lab testing. So we always have a team. Once we close out, we are gonna start to work as a team. So we actually have a group meeting. We do calls every week. We talk. We are now a team. So we show up, boots on the ground, we're working. And that's why I say a lot of you needs to tap into, because that's where you start to see a lot of Coach Eli. I have a lot of these calls we do behind scene. You then start to learn a lot from me. I even start to help you in your business. I start to tell you, okay, this is what's next for you to do, because now we are working closely together on a project, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. So it is a stepping foot, not only for you to get money, also for your
Just
business.
understanding the business and the processes.
Everything. It's a holistic approach, a program benefits.
Immense. Appreciate you. I'm getting the HBCU experience outside. Thank you.
That is right. Yes, I'm actually a college professor, y'all. I teach
I know.
at the
I stalked you.
oldest
I healthy
ABCU,
stalked you.
okay?
I healthy stalked you. I know. That's why I brought the HBCU. Okay, so I need the link, and then
It's
I
right
don't know.
there. Can
It's
you
it.
pin it, Benzie, please? I
Okay.
put the link
Yeah.
already. Yes, Butterfly. Can you come off mute? That's my sister right there. She actually was also a VIP. She was at the conference. She bought all my packages. I'm not sure why you're here tonight. She just probably want to learn. But yes, that's Sharika. I can't forget. That's Sharika right there. And let me tell you something. Sharika is killing the show. Sharika has a contract with USPS, with some fingerprint company. She makes a lot of top dollars in her business, and she is actually a diagnostic lab. Sharika, you want to come off mute? Can you tell these people, show them some love, give them some encouragement? She's coming. Oh, she has a client in the lab. Yeah, Sharika works. I follow her. She inspires me too. These are the people that you want to emulate. I teach my students. Sometimes I say, go follow these people. And if I say go follow people, Sharika is one of those people that you're going to go follow, because she has clients, she has contract. I think she is in not in Mississippi. Sharika, where you guys at? Missouri? Not Alabama, somewhere. But yeah, the link is in the comment, guys. And is that every questions in the comment, guys?
I have one last question, Coach Eli, Eli, excuse me, if I could ask real quick. Being that I'm just starting out, where should I start with your training for beginners?
For beginners, if you want to save money, I'm gonna say take the DOT specimen collector that we have coming up this Saturday. If you have more than $200 to spend, take the group mentorship.
Okay.
Or take that or do what Kennedy is doing. Kennedy is my private student. She actually paid for the group immediately when she saw the benefit of the private. She upgraded. So it just depends on your budget. But for entry level, it's gotta be the DOT first of all. The DOT specimen collection.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Of course. Mr. Lawrence, I see you. Thank you so much for turning on your camera. I remember you from Facebook and Instagram. How are you?
Oh, okay, I'm good.
Good. That's good. Good. I remember your name. Were you
Yeah.
able to join in the DNA class? Were you able to get in?
No, I didn't. No, I wasn't able to get in it. I waited too late to get into the DNA class.
Or that we were looking, I was trying to get you the link. Remember?
Yeah.
Was that in DNA?
Yeah, I got it. So, yeah, I did get in it. I got it. Yeah.
All right, cool. Yes.
And I think we have one more question that I think we need to answer.
I
That
see
is
Simi and
how
Shuranda.
Yes, I have a question. I am located in Memphis, but I have a business in Mississippi. Not getting a lot of traction, kind of need some help there. So with this collaboration, do you have to be a doctor or nurse practitioner?
Sorry, who was that? I didn't see. Who was the person?
Sharonda?
Oh, Sharon, that was okay. No, you don't need to be a nurse practitioner or a doctor to even own and start your business. You don't need any of those.
No, I mean for the collaboration for the funding.
No, you come
Okay.
as you are. Yep.
Okay.
You're
Understood.
representing your business, yeah, so you don't need all that. Is multiple awards. Is that right, Benzi? That was actually a great question.
Yeah, so it's multiple funders. So so it's not just one funder that we'll apply to. We'll apply for multiple funders for the specific opportunity. So I know that we rotate through different types of topics as things come up, but just know for each opportunity that we announce, you get multiple funders as like that we're going to pitch to as part of your package.
Simi?
Yeah, thank you, Coach Eli. Actually, I stumbled on your one of your videos on Facebook today, and in the morning, actually, because I'm in Texas, and ever since I've been like, oh my God, where have you been? Or where have I been? So, um, first, I would say thank you for giving back. Also, I have a couple of questions in my head right now. I really don't know where to come in, but I really want to come in. So because I'm new into all this, the all these terminologies is really great, but I'm actually new. I really don't know if I should come into the mentorship or I
Hey,
should
girl.
come in with the collab, or can I do both? What would you suggest for someone new and really, want to also be part of the team?
That's a great question. And thank you, Simi, for that nice word. Yes, I'm glad you saw my heart. But honestly, the best way to really maximize your potential is to do both. But I always like to be very careful when I say that because I know people want to do both, but it's due to their financial situation. But sometimes I've seen a lot of people, because I work with different clients, a lot of people don't really mind. They just want to go for it. I would say if you have the funding, if you have the money, you got to do both because both are not the same thing or the same goal. The first thing, you want to start a business, right? You do have to start your own business. And the second thing, you're trying to get money for your business. So if you can do both, or do one, which will be start your business. And with the basic of starting the business is at least have an LLC or have at least one service, so that you, and we brought down the price. $675 is not what we charge. $1,700 is how these packages work. And on top of that, and I'm glad the lady asked that question, it's multiple awards. So you have a potential of, if we identify 5 funders, that is $5 million right there. So you don't want to miss your opportunity because of $675, especially if you have $675, if that makes sense. If you don't have $675, then it's understood. But if you have it, then use it wisely. This is what we call return on investment, you know. So I don't want to say too much, but yeah. Does that help, Simi?
Yeah, thank you, Coach. So I do have an LLC. It's just that it's a different line of business. Does it matter, or I have to create a new LLC?
No, I always tell students not even to create new LLC, because you are wasting money. An LLC is an LLC, unless if you have a name that is like cooking and you want to do lab. It just has to
No.
do with the name, right? So yeah, it has to do with the name. And I like the question that is in the chat. NB Screening wants to know if the funding will be split. So remember, we are going over, or we're going after $1 million. So that's why we have to cap. It's not an open slot. If it's 5 people, we divide it equally amongst 5 people. So if you collaborate, it's $1 million. And if we have 10 people, you're going to get $100,000. So it's shared evenly. Yeah. Great. Let me go check how many slots we have left, just to make sure we're not over.
How are y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Oh, I saw some questions. If we don't get the funding, then what? So yeah, that's a possibility. Like, well, I mean, that is a very possibility that you might not get funding. But like I said, opportunities circle back. So meaning, yes, we're going to pitch to a bunch of funders, but some funders might say, okay, we don't have money Q1 of this year, but we can give you money in November. We can give you money the year after. We can give you the year after. So that's why there's always going to, there's been times where we come up with this proactive package. And let's just say your state comes out with an opportunity for the same exact project that we just created. You can reuse it. You can reuse it. You can reuse it. So that's why I'm saying there's just a possibility that you might not get funded initially, but the thing is, you have this package, you're going to have access to it. So after we pitch that one funder, that'll be it. But I mean, those multiple funders, but if you happen to see some stuff that's coming up, you come up on an article, or you're on social media, you're going to be a part of the group chat with Coach Eli, you can always be like, hey, I know it's been a couple months. I know we haven't heard anything back, but I just saw this opportunity for the same project that we created. Do you think Bensi could support? Do you think Bensi could pitch on our behalf for this same project? So that's just an example of how these packages can always be renewed and reused.
I have a question.
Oh, yes.
My name is Lucretia. I'm from Henderson, North Carolina. So if I wanted to pay the $675 tonight, but I don't have an LLC, I do have a home care agency, but not a LLC for DOT or lab. Should I go ahead and pay the $675?
I actually would use your LLC if I were you. Your home care, actually. Because it doesn't have to be lab. Remember, guys, your home care can also benefit from this proposal. Your home care can, because I also have an home care agency too, and I have a lot of home care client. Because you could offer this here as a supportive services to your home care patients. So this would be an add-on leverage. And this actually positions you and make you more competitive than your other competitors. Was that Grace?
Okay, good. That's good to know. Oof,
Yeah.
thank
I'll
you.
use my home care actually.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah, I'll even add, like, you can even use your home care, like, for patients that you have, saying that, hey, I could provide housing to mothers who are at risk of homelessness, but they're gonna get clinical testing, they're gonna get labs, you're gonna get education, you're gonna get doula support.
Even mental health, like it's you have to, we think outside of the box. We don't think traditional, and that's why we are always successful, right? And I would actually use that home care before my lab, because you're serving senior population, and we want to see that home care on that application. Actually, I don't want to see too many labs. Okay, I want to see that home care because you're a strong collaborator at this point. And even if you have a nonprofit, I also want to see, you can, that's part of the things I said I was going to answer you guys. Nonprofit, even if you have an experience, let's say like Grace don't have an LLC, but Grace has this Medicare experience, I'm going to combine those two together. You have to see the way founders think. You are thinking the way you are thinking. They have a special way of thinking. We don't think like that. Okay, so you guys has a lot to offer than what you even think. I hope that's making sense. So
I want to
yeah,
add something to the Medicaid piece. You know, you have to re-register for Medicaid each year, right? So guess what? With everything the administration doing, a lot of people are losing Medicaid. The states, they don't have enough people to process the applications or to even reach out to people. So guess what? When we fund this, or when we pitch, imagine, yes, maybe you had your Medicaid experience. I could put down for case management. Hey, Shalom is going to help. Like, yeah, we already have a doula. Yeah, we're already doing education. Yeah, we got the nonprofit, but she's going to ensure that people, she's going to stay on top of people's Medicaid renewal each year. So, so I just want to add that bit because there's just so many different ways.
updates. We only have 3 slot left. 2 were taken already, so we don't have too much slot. And after tonight, guys, the price is gonna reset. We always like to give you guys great bucks for your bank when we do have this open sessions. And when I checked, we only have 3 slot left, and I know this will go. So I just want to make sure that you guys understand the benefits and the importance of a business, period. You should not have your business and not have money to run it, or have no great network, or even have history and experience under your belt. So these will position you for all of those. On top of networking, working closely with experts, it's a lot of benefit that you have on the table here. And as Grace said, it's a great potential. We have done this before. We are going to continue to do this. It just so happened and so perfect that it is wellness. We had lead last year, chronic diseases, veterans. It's a lot of this and not only at this level, we have our own ecosystem as well. And within the ecosystem, I think Benzi, you were sharing that I don't know, Anna, they got the money. So people, if you don't try, you're not gonna know, right? So my role as a coach is to make sure that I am giving you guys beyond, or even letting you see how potential of the value of how valuable you guys are within your business. Because I don't see people teach this or even do this. It's just the traditional way. Even when we teach marketing, I don't teach you marketing the traditional way. We actually do marketing the different way, right? When they say go market, a lot of you would think, okay, let me just go give somebody my card. Who is somebody that you're giving your business card to? You got to give the right people who is going to appreciate and use your services. But y'all don't know who these people are, right? Who buys what you sell is very key. And I'm telling you, this approach here is the game changer. And that is why it's taking me more than an hour to spend with you, because I understand the importance of collaborating and going after funding the proactive way. Okay. I see Ebony. I'm gonna take your question, and we actually have 2 more questions, and we're gonna wrap up because it's 8 o'clock already, and kids are going back to school tomorrow.
Thank you
Ebony?
for the opportunity. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
So first question is, I know right now you said it's $6.75 for the opportunity, but there are only 3 slots left. So when will you have another opportunity? Will you do that every quarter, or is when you pay the $6.75 or the $1,700, the original amount, are you having to pay with do you have to pay with every opportunity?
You are a smart man. You should know
That's
how
a great question.
what will
You
this
do have to for every opportunity. So every opportunity has its own prices, and it's not gonna be the same. Although in the past it's always the same 1,700, but because this is the new year, we had to just reduce it. So yes, we are gonna have more opportunities, and I'm looking at veterans more closely. Last year it was lead. We're gonna do another year, lead this year again. We're gonna have quite a few topics, but like we said, maternal health is hot right now, and there are money moving already for maternal health, and we want to quickly leverage that. So, but yes, to answer your question, there are definitely going to be more topics, and it's not going to be the same price, and it's, yes, you pay for every opportunity.
So if you pay the $6.75 now and you don't get funded, you have another opportunity for, say, lead testing in Q2. You have to pay another $1,700 or whatever your price is for that opportunity, even if you don't get funded with this opportunity today, like the $6.75. You have to pay for every opportunity with no
Yes,
return on the investment,
correct.
possibly.
That is correct. That is correct. Yeah, but there are quite a few benefits after that. Like Benzi mentioned, you guys are gonna get the proposal, the paperwork. We give it to you, and if you want, you can buy a product. We have ready-made products. While we are waiting for the funds to kick in, we sell products and make money while we're waiting. I sell a lot of product as I speak right now. While I'm waiting for funding, I make money in my sleep. So every proposal, every project that we go over, we make products. Maternal health already. Benzie, can you pull and show them the maternal health products? And we have maternal health product that we sell to nonprofits, to people that already have funding that wants to pay. So products, right? So we make money every day on our products when we sell them. We just didn't want to talk about products or want to add product to this thing because it's going to be too expensive. Well, not to everyone, but I told my team, let's take out the product. But I'm glad you asked that question, Ebony, because we already know as a business, we need to be making money every day, right? So every day in my mind, I need to be making at least $200. And that is if I choose to sell my product to final consumers. I sell my products on a B2B level. I don't know if you guys know, a lot of nonprofit organizations or have money. They need to spend the money. They were granted, they were funded, right? So some of our products is always targeted for nonprofit and some businesses. So they buy what we have, they use it, we get paid. So it's on a repeat basis. It's a cash flow system. Is it making sense?
But is that flow for your business, or are you saying if somebody pays the $6.75 today and you're selling business to business products, if you don't get funded, they can kind of recoup that $6.75 through the process of selling products to nonprofits or other organizations?
Yes, you just said it right. That's exactly what I'm saying. So you get the products. If we wanted to, so that's why we say the full package is actually 2,500. Because we're gonna give you product as well, so you can start selling while you're waiting. But we took out all of that because we wanted to keep it simple. But you can buy product, because I'm glad you asked. We weren't talking about product, but you took us to the next level, which is great, because you're thinking like us, right, Ebony? Because we know while we are waiting, we should be making money. We shouldn't be still, right? So product selling allows us to make money while we are waiting for decisions.
Thank you.
Of course. Great question. Is Zoom still here? I think there is a Zoom user that has a question. We have to pay for product. Yes, because it's not part of JICU. It's not part of the package. But we actually have we've, like we said, we've had this maternal health. I don't know if Ben's is by screen, but we have a maternal health project that we've made already, and I'm selling products. Ben's, where's our products?
I have a question.
All right, Shalom.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, this is Shalom Destiny. So I have a question about the products. Well, first I have a question about collaborative. So you pay the $675. How many times are you will meet with the team? Like, you get in a project. I would like to know, how many times the meeting would be on this collaboration project.
It varies. It depends on us. Let me give you an example. For the lead was actually an RFP. We met up to 3 times. This current maternal health, we've met 2 times already within a week. If you want to meet every day, not every day, but I'm just saying, we actually are in a group chat, right? A private chat, and we talk every day. But if there is a need for us to call, like we wanted to agree on a budget. We called for an emergency meeting on Monday. So we always have meetings if there is a need. But most importantly, we make sure we put ourselves together in a group for continuity. Networking, updates, reoccurrence, collaboration. It's a lot of my students in the back. That's a lot of you don't see. But once you come in that circle, you'll get to meet everyone there. Okay? But each project, we always try to distance. So as far as frequency, I don't know until I have my team. So you guys will decide what you guys want.
Okay. And thank you for answering that. And another thing, the reason why I'm so intrigued about this conversation, because where I live at currently, we don't have maternity wards anymore in our hospitals, like 5 hospitals around us that don't deliver babies. So a lot of people are having births at home, dealing with doulas and stuff. So that really excited me. And I do want to entertain that conversation later on. Since you are the expert dealing with this topic, I was just talking to a doctor about today. So it's kind of weird we having this conversation tonight. So I definitely want to entertain it later on. Maybe, you might have some insights on that, and you can actually look it up for yourself that we don't even have in our area. So that's why I was asking you about the meeting, how many times you meet up, is this a good investment, because I'm really, really thinking about this, to go ahead and submitting this payment because I know what's going on in our area.
I know Benzie has an answer, but I'm glad you guys are sharing this testimony. We know already these are issues and burdens. We already know what's happening out there, and we know why we have to choose maternal health.
Right.
You just have to trust the process, because let me tell you something. I'm glad Grace said, I teach, right? And I'm an epidemiologist. One of the things we have to teach in the classroom is actually, go and look at this article, y'all, when you leave here tonight. It's 4 a.m. Baby is coming. Put it in Google chat right now. You're just going to think I'm making this up. Just put in ChatGPT on Google. It's 4 a.m. Baby is coming. There are some underserved areas. You will understand. Maternal health is claiming lives. It's a burden. You know what we call disease burden? And I'm glad, Shalom, you are here. You have a doctor. You have to invest your $675. I'm telling you. Even if I have to give you this love for free, I need to talk to you right now because I understand. We know. You don't need. You are just confirming what we know. Okay, it's a burden. Some people don't even have. Even when you give birth, the hospital want to discharge you right away. Just pray for a successful delivery. What if you have complications? Are you guys thinking the way we are thinking? So the money will be spent. But are they going to spend it with you? That's the question. But there are top dollars. And because we want them to spend it with us, we are going and doing it this way. Because this is the way to do it. But there is a problem and there is money on the table. We just want to remain competitive. I'm glad you said that, Shalom. It's the same for lead testing too. A lot of you are leaving money on the table when I keep telling you about lead testing. Lead is a problem. People are dying, impacted. You know what lead causes? Not only poisoning, mental health delays, speech delay, problems, like so. And you think the government is gonna leave them alone? No, they got to take care of it. But you gotta be there to position and talk about it. So we know 675 is a steal. It is a steal. Look, Jay is attestating to lead. I don't just see my students, a lot of them, especially in where is this state? It's a problem. It's a problem, yo.
Where are you
Maternal health
going?
is a problem. I'm glad you shared, Shalom. I'm gonna see if we have more questions so that we can go to bed early, right? Does anyone have any question?
All right, and I was to say this to Shana's point. I worked at the CDC. I worked with the people that were in charge of distributing money in the reproductive health to the states, two different organizations. I talked to one of my bosses, one of my old bosses. He was the one that was signing the checks. They all got fired last year. They all got fired who was in charge of reproductive health. So guess what? Maternal deserts are a thing. For if y'all didn't know, maternal deserts are a thing. And guess what? They don't have clinicians. They don't have people who are able to do the work that needs to be done. So that's why a lot, even right now, a lot of states, they just gave out $50 billion for rural health. So imagine you're proposing to do this work in an area that doesn't have a clinic, that doesn't have a lab, that doesn't have accessible lab. Of course they're gonna fund it. So, yeah.
All right. I think it's a wrap. Um, I think that was just your previous answer, Rhonda. Thank you all so much. You guys know where to find me. If you have questions, yeah, you could definitely, yeah, it's definitely going to benefit rural areas because rural areas don't have anything. They don't even have doulas. They don't have mental health. Everything they have to travel to go get it. It's a lot of access issues with rural area. And I think it's interesting that you are having access to this info. Look, is this the same Ebony? You have only one doula and you're bringing more doulas. Do you think they won't support you? If you're not going to be on this project, can you just at least give me your location so I can take this project there on my own? Because we need this type of information because I know this is what they need in your area. Only
Hey,
one
Coach
doula.
Eli, this is Sharonda again. How do I sign up to do the lead testing?
Do you already have a business?
Yes, I do have a business, a drug testing in a DNA laboratory.
Okay, so call me. Let's connect. I do have the course online, but I want to see if you have questions. I want to get a little bit of feel about your business and where you are with things. Then I will tell you what to do about lead. Lead is key too. And one of the project Benzi and I were talking about is we're going to bring back lead collaboration because a lot of people don't know how to do it and y'all really want to do it, especially because I've been talking about it a lot. So you guys are really keen to lead. But yeah, because lead is all about diagnostic testing. So we are going to have lead maybe in Q2.
Okay.
So we can build, but we already had lead for, because I don't know if you guys know, but New York had a RFP for lead. So we went after the money. So we are waiting. And they're gonna actually release everything next month. So we are actually ready and waiting.
Okay. So you want me to just chat you offline about
Yeah,
the lead
chat me
training?
offline.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. So Grace said, will there be multiple proposal for this maternal project or just one? It's multiple because remember, you, Grace, you're on the project Renee's already on the project. So everyone is on the project. So everyone gets 5 each, I want to believe, from each state. Because we just want to identify potential and we're going to go after that. So it's multiple. It's not one big, yeah, Grace. It's not one big, it's multiple submission, multiple proposal, multiple conversations. And as those multiply, it's increasing for us too, right? Yeah. You guys asked a good question. That means you guys were paying attention. That's really good. Yeah. We have to call it a day. It's the hour already. I feel like you guys don't have any more questions because you guys have asked all the questions, so which is great. I like the session myself. I'll see you guys on the other side. And if there is any more question, definitely, reach out to me. And yeah, we actually have we're gonna have a collaboration meeting soon because I see some people still signed up. So we're gonna have collaboration soon. Yes, you're welcome. Yes, love it. Yeah, I'm excited. That's right. You're welcome, NB Screening.